One of the hottest new creators, I would have to say, in a motorcycle company is Nash. And I'm with Taper here, owner and creator of Nash Motorcycle Company. And I got to tell you, your bikes are really stand out among the rest.
Thank you. Thank you.
Tell me why.
We just we started building bikes, me and my two brothers. You know, just to do stuff that we like, bikes that you could ride, bikes that you could, you know, look at. They look cool, and you could get on them and ride them too. And you know, we could take them to the shows and show them. But you know, there's something that we felt comfortable with, and other people like to look at.
Well, they're definitely, I would say, kind of old school,
yeah,
kind of real, and down to earth, kind of blue collar.
We grew up all over the, you know, all over the United States, but we grew up in Northern California for a while. You know, being around all the clubs back then, and just being a kid standing on the corner of the street and watching all the bikers, you know, roll by, kind of got me you know, excited when I was a kid about motorcycles and the old style of things. Where we're located, it's just right above Portland, Oregon. Vancouver, USA. A lot of people get us mistaken for you know, Vancouver, BC, up in Canada.
What do you think of this new kind of revolution of real, I call it real school, old school, blood, sweat, and tears, kind of knuckle busting wrench guys doing what they do best, man, for the working man?
Right. Well, this idea of the skate park and all of us being here was actually my idea to pull this whole thing together. About 3 months ago, most of these people that were here weren't even going to come out to Daytona, and my buddy Benji Galloway, that's a pro skater, he's buddies with Martin that owns the skate park here, and I got a hold of him and found out what he was doing with the lot. And I've been wanting to mix you know, the bike and the skateboarding thing, you know, for a while. We tried doing it out on Main Street last year, where we built a half pipe by our booth, and that just didn't work out how it needed to. And so we just pulled things together here and you know, made it happen, and it, you know, it worked out good. It's, you know, a good feeling at the lot. Everybody's, you know, it's just like we're all hanging out in our own garages with, you know, our buddies, and you know, bringing the people in to see all of our stuff that we've built. Somebody's got to take the place of our fathers and grandfathers and move in and do our thing. And you know, we just want to show respect to those guys and be able to do our thing and do it our way. And you know, no disrespect to how it's been done in the past, but you know, it's a new generation. We got to do things the way we want to do it, and you know, move our stuff in. Chris Callan, he's been a huge help from Cycle Source. He, you know, helped me pull all this together, and you know, of course, all the sponsors that were involved.
Now, what does someone get with a Nash motorcycle? Come on, tell me from start to finish, from, you know, from the front wheel to the back wheel. What do they get with a Nash motorcycle? Why does it stand out?
You know, pretty much when somebody comes to me and says they want a bike built, I pick their brain, find out what they want to, you know, what they want to actually have built, what they want in a bike. And you know, lately I've been a lot pickier with, you know, who I build bikes for, because I want to be able to build a bike for a guy that the guy's going to be happy in the end of the bike build, and a guy that we're going to be able to, you know, meet up with at shows and be able to, you know, help us out and use the bikes for promotional reasons. And so, you know, and a lot of guys that come and hang out with us at the shows are guys that are customers also. But you know, we get an idea of the bike, we get a feel of what they want, and then, you know, they let us build one of our bikes. And so, you know, we can build anything from, you know, brand new parts being assembled and us chopping that stuff up, all the way down to, like, you know, the green bike here. You know, it started off as a 75 Sportster and still is. And, you know, it definitely doesn't look like a stock 75 Sportster, but, you know, it was a deal where we chopped it all the way down to the cradle, built the frame around the engine, used some old wheels, old tanks, you know, and chopped it up and made it into a new bike.
What can someone get one of your bikes for?
Our bikes range from right around 20 to 25,000, right in that, you know, right in that area. We've done ones as high as 30 and up, but that, you know, that's the average. And then also we have our whole line of parts that we manufacture and sell.
Where can they get in touch? You got a website, telephone number?
Yeah, it's www.nashmotorcycle.com.
Cool. And any last words to the viewers out there, Born to Ride Television?
Yeah, just keep doing it. Those guys that, you know, guys that want to ride, you know, take your stock bike, change stuff, you know, do what you want to do with it. Do what you know, do what you feel, and, you know, have respect for the old guys.
Nash Motorcycle Company, a name that you guys are definitely going to be hearing a lot more about. Got the real vibe going here. Pleasure to meet him. We'll be right back with more here on Born to Ride TV.